Hey guys, so I don't have a project video this week, but what I do have is a brand new router, so I thought I would do a router unboxing video. Now, I wouldn't consider myself an expert tool review guy, so this is mostly just an excuse for me to talk to the camera for a while giving you something to look at. So this is a Maximum, which none of you have heard of, because this is the premium brand from Canadian Tire here in Canada. And of course, Canadian Tire is one of those stores that most Americans don't understand. You think, well, you know, it's just another Home Depot, isn't it? Or a Lowe's or something. And it's not. Because, well, maybe it is. Okay, it's a Home Depot if your Home Depot sold car parts and kitchen appliances and dishes and camping supplies. A lot of people grew up getting camping supplies from Canadian Tire. Rubber boots, bikes. Does your Home Depot sell bikes? Toys, and of course, tires. So yeah, it's not exactly a Home Depot, but it's not a Harbour Freight either. Some people are like, oh, is it a Harbour Freight? It's like, well, no, we already have a Harbour Freight. We call it Princess Auto. And you walk into Princess Auto, and it even smells like Harbour Freight. It's got that rubber smell from all the casters and things. So, anyways. Oh yeah. The other really unique thing about Canadian Tire is the money. If you pay cash or debit at Canadian Tire stores, they give you these bonus coupons equivalent to a few percent of your purchase, which you can use at your next purchase. They're now pushing loyalty card points instead, but historically this was a big deal here. Every Canadian in Canada probably has a bunch of Canadian Tire money stashed in a drawer somewhere. And the battery's dying on the camera, so let me stop that and then we'll pick this up again. Okay, I'm back. I was so busy talking about the store, I kind of skipped ahead here. So this is the Mastercraft Maximum router. It is one of those kits where it's got the fixed base and the plunge base. It was on sale for 139 Canadian dollars. And I bought it because, and here's a commitment, I'm finally going to make a Pantorouter. I got those plans from Matthias probably 5 years ago, and I've been sitting on them, and I'm finally this year, I'm like, you know, I need a summer project. And then I was trading some email with Matthias, and I find out that he's building another one too, which is, I find kind of funny. All right, so you got the plunge base, and we got the fixed base, and we got the motor, and you got your typical dust shroud thing here. Let's see how this goes. So this will clip on. Yeah. So the fixed base has got a shield here, protection, and on the other side you can put this in, I think, yep. This one there's two screws that have to go there for dust collection. And this is an unboxing, not a test, so I can't really tell you how well it works. And then there's this one. Okay, have to read the instructions. Not sure what that one's for. Plunge base has your lock here. Push down. Feels like pretty good action. It's not wiggly at all. Got the depth stops down here. Let's get a close-up of that. Again, pretty typical for a plunge router. And it has these shafts which will go in here. And I'm betting, there we go. Here's the edge guide that those shafts are going to clamp onto. Some screws. Here's a replacement, the collet. That's going to be the 1/4 inch collet, and yep, the 1/2 inch collet comes in it. And this is a oh, what do you call that? That clamps into the middle here for when you're doing an edge guide. All the standard parts. That box is empty. Let's toss that aside. And of course, a wrench. Only one wrench, so I can already tell that sure enough there is a lock over there, and you got to take the shield off to get at it. But yeah, there's a spindle lock there. There we go. Yep. All right, now how do I get the motor out? There it is. So here on the side of the base, there's this button here which disengages things enough that you can just slide the motor in. It's got the toothed area right there. And here's the most important thing I'm going to need to know, and that is three and a half inches. That's what we're looking for, right, Matthias? 3.5 inches? Yeah. As long as it fits the plans. Power switch on the side here. Speed control on the top. Let us plug it in and check out the so-called soft start. Got a good long cord on it too, which is kind of ironic. I'm not going to need a good long cord. I'm probably going to cut the cord short. Oh my, this is, it's like a 10-foot cord on this thing. Well, that's good for today because I can just plug her in. Let's put it on the low speed. Yep. Inside the base there is one pin here for aligning the motor, which goes into a groove here on the side of the motor. And that makes sure that your rack and pinion gear lines up. And then you push the button and you'll get a rapid adjustment of size, and then it locks in, and then you use a little dial here. That's a good tight latch. Fairly comfortable handles, which is again not something I'm ever really going to use because I'm going to build a Pantorouter, I promise. Won't be next week. I got a few other things I got to do first, but in a month or so. Okay, I actually looked at the manual, bilingual, that's what you get here in Canada, and I learned something that I forgot. It has 3 LEDs for illuminating your work surface. I've never had a router with LEDs. I have no idea if that's a good thing or not. And this is for the plunge base. It fastens in here. That is a chip extractor, dust collector, what you want to call it. There's a couple of mounting holes there where you can, where is that? There we go. Mounting hole there, and on the other side where you can attach that. Again, I'm not really, I would have happily bought a unit that just had the motor and a fixed base, but that was not an option. The only one that I could find like that was a fixed speed motor, and I wanted a variable speed motor. So on the plunge base, you just, there is no fine adjustment here. This just slides into a slot, and you can clamp it in place, and then it's all controlled with your plunge mechanism. Hand grips fit the hand pretty nice. I've always found these things a bit awkward on the plunge router, but what are you going to do? You got to have something there for your hands. And these rods fit in here. I'm just figuring this out. I've not looked at the manual for this part. It's a router. It's a router. It's a router. It's a router. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, yeah, these screws are how you attach it to the edge guide. Got to take these screws out, and then it will mount. These screws will attach it right there. But again, broken record. All I care about is the motor, because that's what's going in my Pantorouter. So he says. Of course, I'm still going to keep all these because maybe I'll switch routers at some point. All right. So there you go. There's my unboxing vid. That's what 139 Canadian dollars gets you when you are looking for a router here in Canada. I mean, you know, we still have DeWalt and Rigid and all those others, but those are all 200 and 225 and up. This was on sale for 139. Here's the big secret for Canadian Tire. They often have big sales. Wait for the sale. Put in a sign on their website and put in a sales alert. And again, I'm rambling. As always, thanks for stopping by. I hope you found something interesting and enjoyable, and we'll see you next time.